Alright, I'm back. We can at least talk, and I can see if it's working.
Yeah. It seems okay. Let me monologue. Let me just monologue for a minute here about how fucking morally bankrupt Greece is, and how defunct all of the whole piece of entertainment is. Oh, okay. Well, I'll save the monologue for the podcast, but I just wanted to make sure that we're fucking vibing here. All right.
We're good.
Tremendous.
I don't know what we did, but we fixed it.
I gave it more data.
Woohoo!
I was gonna cook more, but that's fine. Let me make sure the fans run.
They're running. I can hear them. I can hear them running. They're working their hardest little butts off. Okay. All right, find your note, gain your composure back, and we'll hop in here. We're just gonna delete all that.
No, play it. But it. So fucking figure out what the hell we were talking about. We'll go back into it. We've never done this before.
I didn't.
Hit spacebar. No. But it does make the movie more creepy. That there are adults playing children in the movie.
You ready?
Just around the river bend. Oh.
Okay, here we go. Round 2. Oh, I'll fix your. I don't
know. Picked up an HDMI cable.
Probably fine.
Probably fine.
Fixing one more thing. I'm working on it. There.
Golly gee willikers.
It's a tough time, okay? Alright.
I would like for it to pop up there, but it's not. Oh.
There you go. Live chat.
Fabulous.
Right. Close that. Alright.
Holy shit.
Here we go. Back to podcast.
So, because they're all adults, the everything, it's just so much creepier. And I don't know that it would be better if they had cast like more age appropriate actors for any of the roles, because the whole thing is just a nonstop sleaze fest, and it's grody to think about. It's gross. I don't understand how it became a classic. The whole thing is morally bankrupt. And just, I mean, it took them less than 5 minutes of screen time for Danny to cross a line with his summer sweetheart in terms of what she was comfortable with. So, like, in what world is that, like, an acceptable thing to do, you know? The movie started off on a bad foot for me, and I'm not happy about it. So, okay. They also, because, okay, so 1978, right? That's when the movie comes out.
Yep.
We're in the height of, we don't want to talk about or accept anyone being gay, but also we have to showcase these fellas being talented dancers.
Yep.
And also, like, kind of in tune with feelings. So specifically, the dance number where they're on the bleachers a little later in the movie. Yeah, where they make more
Summer Lovin'.
Yeah, where they make more references to like assaulting people.
Yeah.
That particular moment, you keep trying to convince me this is a good fucking movie and it's a good fucking story.
Okay.
It's a fucking disaster front to back. It's a walking red flag.
Okay, but when you lay it out like just all bluntly, like when you just say all of those things like in a row, it does sound like a really bad
It doesn't sound
show.
that way when you lay it out like that. If you watch it with your eyes and ears, that's the way it is. All it is talking about being an assaulter the whole time, or being willing to accept being assaulted. There's no like, it doesn't come back from that.
The contrast is that we're showing like how guys and girls are different, and like the girls are all like, oh yes, it was so romantic, and the guys are like, 6.
Yeah, until Rizzo's like talking about gangbangs and fucking jerking off and stuff.
I like her line, "You saved your cookies all the way to the beach for some guy."
And then Rizzo's the first person to throw herself at somebody to go get fucked in a car. Like, bro, this whole movie is such a backwards fucking conundrum. Oh my god. Your mom's watching me going like, ah! So, because they have to do musical theater, I've never seen it, because we watched the stage play, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we watched the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And the guys on the stage play, I think, were a lot more confident in performing in the type of way that they were performing. Like, the movement seemed more confident. It seemed more fitting to those actors. Watching John Travolta try to do all this choreography, he looks like he's poorly portraying like a hyper flamboyant gay in like an 80s movie. You know, where it's like they're really overplaying the tropes and shit. That's what it looked like. And I was like, I don't like that this is how it's turned out, because it's not what they were aiming for, but they hit the wrong target anyway. Anyways, so we're going to fucking school because these grown-ups need to go to high school. And they're up in there. There's enough time before school to do all this like fucking around basically. And I don't know. Like, okay, I didn't go to high school. I didn't have my 9.5-hour day at the school where I hung out with all of my kind of friends and 100 other kids I don't like.
100.
The school I did go to was very small.
I had 764 in my graduating class.
I don't think I know 764 people.
There were 2,500 kids in my high school.
That's so many kids.
Yeah.
That's so many kids.
Yep.
Now, have you looked at the lyrics to Summer Lovin'? Like, have you looked at the lyrics?
Oh, I know them all by heart.
That's problematic. You are contributing. So...
Had me a blast.
No. We're not doing that. So we go to school.
In the sand.
Oh my god.
Okay, I will say though, James brought something.
You noticed stuff.
James brought something to my attention that I'd never noticed during Summer Lovin'. Okay, don't do it. We just got here. We're gonna get banned. Just got on YouTube, does one stream, immediately banned.
I would laugh and I would never make content again. I'd be like, fuck it, I'm done.
When they are talking about we went bowling in the arcade, they do that motion multiple times.
You know, how you bowl. Like this.
Stop it, motherfucker!
You know, the classic bowling maneuver.
And yeah, it's not good.
It's so wrong.
I didn't notice him ever doing that hand gesture. I will also tell James this is probably the clearest and largest screen I've ever watched Grease on.
And watching it on your phone, like, what are they doing this dance?
No,
looks like the Fortnite dance.
I mean, I was watching like it from a DVD on like a our TV was big,
standard def,
but it wasn't like clear definition.
Yeah,
if we'd watched it on my DVD, it wouldn't have been as clean as we watched it on HBO. Like it would have been grainy. It would have been bad. It's fine.
It's fine. So there's all this fuckery before class, and who is it? Frenchie brings Sandy to school. Now, there are some unanswered questions here, and they will remain unanswered indefinitely. 1. Sandy's supposed to go back to Australia. Why is she not back in Australia? This question does get asked in the movie in a later scene, and the answer is, we had a change of plans. That's not an answer. That's like the start of an answer. That's like almost explaining without actually explaining. That's like what a high school teacher does when they try to explain concepts.
They do explain it better in the stage play that like first of all, Sandy is like Frenchie's neighbor, and
well, that was never established.
Yeah, so that's how Frenchie knows Sandy.
Okay.
And why she's like so close with her before the start of school. This was established in the play you did go see. And then
I was distracted.
It was a very distracting show.
Listen, the stage play that we went and saw played up the sex like in a more modern way, and it was like all they did. It was like Magic Mike, but not.
I also can't blame you for not hearing things because the band was so loud you couldn't hear the actors half the time.
The lyrics were fucking gone when we watched the stage play.
And also like it's like her dad's job changed. Like he was there on business, and then he ended up having to stay longer, so he was going to enroll her in a Catholic school. But then the Catholic school didn't like her shoes because they were too shiny, and the boys could see up her skirt. And so the dad...
Sandy is the biggest prude of the group.
The dad fought with the Catholic school, and then she didn't get to go to the Catholic school, and that's how she ends up at Rydell.
How? That's a much more interesting start to the show than the fucking movie. In the movie, they just go, hey, they were on the beach. Hey, we're in the high school. Hey, everybody's 33. And that's how the movie starts. So they're at that's crazy that all that her shoes were too shiny. What the put dirt on them? I don't give a shit. God, religious schools, man.
Nuns, man.
Nuns. So they have to go to class, and the T-Birds, as you will come to know them, the leather jacket gang.
I didn't change for the stream.
Oh yeah, you got to put your leather jacket on.
I brought it and everything.
Is this a T-Birds jacket?
No.
Or is this just your leather jacket?
This is just my leather jacket.
Okay. So the leather jacket gang, run by Danny Zuko / Kanicki.
I think
it's unclear.
I think it's Kanicki is in charge of the gang because like that's why Sunny goes and grabs Sandy during the dance. I think Kanicki's really pulling the ropes, and he even mentions to Danny like, "I want you to be my second." So I don't think Danny's like really in charge. But I think he's like closer friend-wise with the guys.
Yeah, but Kanicki's also like 40 years old.
I mean,
Kanicki's canonically like 22.
Yeah,
right?
like he's failed high school like old. 4 times.
Yeah, like he's like a whole entire
senior.
Adult. It's a super senior.
Woo!
So like homie's supposed to, you know what? If anyone should have been a whole ass adult in the cast, it's got to be Kanicki, right?
It'd be funnier if they did it like they did it in Stranger Things with Eddie though, because Eddie's failed high school multiple times, and he's like significantly older than the rest of the boys. Like that would have been better because then it would have been really like.
Honestly, I'd like to get one of my friends who writes scripts to rewrite the movie with less sex and more like confusion and general non-understanding of concepts, because that's what happens in high school. Anyways, so they're all just sort of fucking around outside, and then they start fucking around inside, and we get little throwaway scenes with the faculty that don't matter. Ultimately,
there's a lot of throwaway scenes that don't matter.
There really are. The most entertaining, there's several parts of the movie that are like truly just funny and entertaining. One of them is when the bell rings. It's a mad, immediate clearing of the hall.
That's realistic. If you
like everyone scatters except for the leather jacket gang and the new student, who are fucking around and doesn't know where the hell she's supposed to go.
So when you go to high school, that bell that rings is the tardy bell. So that's like your cue to get your ass in class. So that's pretty accurate. So you have like 2 bells. You have the bell that releases you.
And the bell that is like, hey, you're late. I feel like there should be a third bell that's like, hey, now is the time.
No, the second bell is like the one that's like, you basically like have to like a minute to get to class. So like
okay.
If you're not there already, you fucked up. That's why when the bell goes off, everyone's like boom, into the rooms, because you're supposed to be outside your class. You also can't go inside the class until like that bell, because then
school is dumb.
Well, generally like teachers aren't in there, and so you gotta wait, or
right.
There's another class that's already in there. It's a whole you gotta.
I mean, I wrote the note that like when the bell rings, you have to be in the class. Like, why are you in the hallway? And that's kind of a silly note, because these fellas clearly do not give a single fuck.
He's not going to take any of her crap.
They don't give a single damn. Yes,
Sunny
ma'am.
is not going
to. No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. And then
that truly is one of my favorite
Danny
scenes.
gets all up in the face of this other 34-year-old and goes, well, I'm sure are glad you didn't take any of her crap, huh? Like,
yeah,
man,
bah.
You're all such good friends. You're so mean to each other.
You think this is bad? We should watch West Side Story.
That's just gonna be the same thing, but racist. I'll tell you this. Of all the notes I made about this movie, I didn't have a note about being racist other than the pep rally, which we'll get to in a little bit.
I mean, it's a little bit, but like things that they cut out from the stage show or that have been changed in recent years is like some of the character names. If you'll notice, they're not necessarily all good. Like they literally, one character's nickname is just Putz.
Right, which is I believe a Jewish slur. It's
not a slur, but it's definitely like just
a derogatory word.
Yeah, it's not like it's something you call someone when they're like being an ass, basically. So it's things like that where it's like there is definitely still some racism.
But I just saw an episode of Big Bang Theory where Howard refers to himself as a putz.
He's Jewish, he can.
And then other people also refer to him as a putz.
It's just different than like making that somebody's entire identity.
They've had seasons and seasons to build Howard's character, and we've known these guys for 45 seconds. And in the entire...
That's all they call him the entire movie, though. He doesn't have a fucking name. It's just Putz.
Is it really?
Yeah, they literally just call him Putz.
Man, who wrote this atrocity? It's a nightmare. I just wrote 2 notes back to back. Everyone's an asshole, and why is everyone an asshole? Every character
High schoolers, man.
Just unnecessarily cruel.
High schoolers, man.
Mean to each other. And I went to high school with myself, and I do not recall just being so malicious towards myself in high school. I also went to an actual high school. No, it's a real high school. There were kids who went to like all day there. I just wasn't one of them because I was smarter.
You went to like a private high school. That is not the same thing. You had a uniform. It's not the same thing.
Well, you didn't go to one, so how would you know? So even when I was going to classes with students that were not me or my siblings, that just makes it worse, doesn't it?
Yeah, you really.
Yeah, I was doing well, and then I went downhill with it.
Listen, that documentary came out. You got to be careful,
man.
I
gotta stop. I'm gonna get fucked up over here. It wasn't like that. We didn't wear denim. I didn't have to wear polos. Okay, I did school in pajamas. It was fine.
At your private school, wasn't part of the dress code those blue or red polos?
That school is not a religious
with khaki
school.
Pants?
Well, it wasn't blue or red. You could wear any color polo.
Really? I thought it was specifically blue or red.
No, the school's colors were just blue and red.
Okay,
you could wear whatever.
As long as it was a polo.
It could even have logos on it, but it couldn't have like a graphic. And people would just wear, they did the thing that you do at work where you wear a graphic tee underneath like the polo that you wash once a millennia.
Stop it. Dude, don't out me like that.
We're out here committing violence tonight, boys. We're back, baby.
We haven't been here in a minute. You guys have missed some shit.
We're stocked up on the memes and we're here to party. Man. So
we've gotten way off topic.
It's fine. I'm coming back to like
high school.
People in these classes that I was in were not cruel to each other. Mostly we were all friendly, or at least on like speaking terms with each other. And I think part of that is the fact that we didn't have to go to the same classes with the same people over and over again. You saw these people like 2 or 3 times a week. You weren't like wall to wall with these guys like sardines. And it was, there's less room to grow tension that way. And honestly, I think it's better that way.
Listen, I had probably one of the worst high school experiences you could ever have. Between being systematically bullied, everyone's a fucking bitch in high school. I don't care. I had a rival. I had like...
What is this, the Wild West?
Did
you guys meet in the hallway to duel it out with guns at noon?
No. We just systematically, psychologically tortured each other for 4 years. It's fine.
Dude, kids are fucking weird.
Like, it got to the point that our entire class, like, my whole senior class, by the time we got to senior year, was either on this chick's side, on my side, or side of we simply don't like either of them. So...
That's so many people that you influenced. Everybody liked me.
Nobody really liked me. It's fine.
I didn't like.
I don't have a single friend from high school, and I am okay with that. And also, I did not go to my 10-year reunion, and I am okay with that. And also, there is not an amount of money you could pay me to this day to make me go back there. Fuck high school.
High school never ends.
All this to be said, yes, people are that fucking mean in high school, James.
All right. Simmer down, Tiger.
I got triggered.
You're cooking.
I got triggered.
You're cooking over there.
It's also 1,000 degrees in here.
I can adjust that. So they're just so mean to each other, and I guess, you know, I don't have prior experience in that department, so to see it is kind of just I don't understand why, and I don't necessarily care for it at all in any way. And I think it's terrible and awful. Now, on to more important things. We get the introduction. Frenchie introduces Sandy to the Pink Ladies, which is kind of like the Leather Jacket Gang, only I can't decide if it's more interesting or less interesting.
I think it's probably more interesting. They got their own spin-off show recently.
Did they have a good writer?
I haven't seen it, but now I'm intrigued because I've actually heard it's pretty good.
All right, well, we might have to take a peek. But she gets introduced to the Pink Ladies, and they're, you know, standoffish and terrible, which is apparently par for the course in high school. And then we're introduced to what is supposed to be a very unlikable character, and that character is called Patty Simcox.
I hate her.
And she is just a can of Red Bull shy of a heart attack, and she is all about extroverted attention. She would like to get to know you and your name and shake your hand and talk to you for eternity, and that's why you hate her. And
I'm very Rizzo.
I would have been friends with Patty Simcox, probably.
We would not have been friends in high school, but we know this, and it's okay.
Also, is it a good prank to stick an apple under somebody's ass when they go to sit down? Like, is that a good joke? Is that like par for the course, or is that like some 1970s prankery?
I mean, oh god, that almost made me sound awful.
She, like, I don't know which, did Jan do it? Did Jan stick the apple on the seat?
Rizzo told Frenchie to do it.
Man, just when I thought Frenchie was the best one of the group.
Well, I would have done like pudding or macaroni, something that was really going to mess up her skirt. I mean, if we're going to do
Listen, just because you're the Mean Girls, all of them together, doesn't mean that you have to flex it right now.
I'm just saying, if you're going to do something, do something.
I don't know. Can you imagine getting an apple stuck in your ass?
It didn't get stuck in her ass. She just sat on it and went...
Maybe it's the embarrassment of making the noise. I don't know. I don't care. We have to carry on to the singing of the same song across two different parts of the school, in which we discuss how much we tried to bone over summer vacation. It's not a nice love ballad. There's assault in the song.
Okay, only half the song is how much we tried to bone over summer vacation. The other one is like, I had the best romance ever.
Right, but this is, you can't forget, this is high school, and the girls are also concerned about, but did you bone though?
But for different reasons, because then we're gonna slut shame them if they did.
Right, but also if you didn't, you're a prude.
Damned if you do, and damned if you don't.
There's no winning. Everyone can go to hell. So now the choreography just, we are blessed in the year of our Lord 2023 to have a man with a legacy such as Kenny Ortega. Because that man, while he may do Disney movies with plots that you could fucking fit on a sticky note, that man knows choreography like nobody's business. That is a dance savant. That guy can kill it.
And he's even keeping it like modern and updating his choreography to like different like generations and decades of people, because like the Descendants choreography slaps, dude.
It's nothing like the High School Musical choreography, but
it's
they're
good.
both good for musicals. I'm not partial, but Kenny Ortega's got the sauce. He's got the choreography. I don't know who choreographed this whole movie, but you make it in the 70s, recalling back to the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm inclined to believe that the choreographer for this movie was born in the 50s and did not live through the 50s. Because a lot of the choreography, and I mean a lot of the choreography, is just like, shake your tits around whether you got them or don't. It's just the shimmy the whole time. Everybody does the shimmy.
The hand drive.
Yeah, and in that song, they also shake their tits around like it's the only move they know.
I mean, if you've
whether
seen
you got them or don't,
pretty much the same thing.
Listen, it's John Travolta. He knows one thing. All right?
I briefly forgot that John Travolta
is in Hairspray, and he knows one thing, and it is shake your tits if you got them. And he knows that because he learned that when he made this movie. Also, we've done silly choreography in CityWavesCinema before, with the Cinderella, the slap and you walk and the slap and you walk, like that business. What is this fucking goose dog, flappy legs, flappy arm bullshit down the stairs on the bleachers? What the fuck is that? What even? That's not dancing. That's like having a seizure, walking down the bleachers. It's not choreography.
I mean,
it's a mistake.
I'm a personal fan, and this was actually a choreographed move because it happened in Breakfast Club. I'm always a personal fan of the like sideways walk thing.
Where you just
you just shimmy, shoo bop bop, shoo bop bop, shoo bop bop. Yeah.
Look, we could have been in the movie. We're talented. So.
You really miss something if you don't attend these live streams every once in a while, guys.
Yeah, that was all visual. None of that shit is good for the podcast. But anyways, he flaps his arms and he like does the knees wide maneuver while walking. And I'll admit, difficult to do, doesn't look good. I don't know why we chose this.
On a scale of 1 to crab dance, how difficult is it?
Oh, it's way harder than crab dance. Crab dance is simple. You know who choreographed that? Not someone who dances. So, in the time that we've been at the bleachers, we also have an upskirt moment.
Oh, yeah.
Where what's his fucking ass, who's a principal character, is it Putz?
That's Putz.
Yeah, that's Putz. He's just like, he leaves frame briefly, and you go, wonder what that's about. And then it cuts to him just like laying in the bleachers like a fish trapped in a terrible sandwich made in England, staring straight up the very lengthy skirt of just some girl studying. And, that's perverse. That's not, you shouldn't do that. That's bad. I do not endorse this at all. But he's just sitting there, and his buddies notice, and they go, look at this guy doing this shit right here.
I'd also like to point out that from the angle she was sitting and the angle he was staring, he was getting knee.
All he saw was knees, bro. Like, you're not even seeing anything of remote interest unless knees are your thing. And, I'm not gonna kink shame. If that's what gets you going, that's what gets you going. But that's fucking weird. I wrote a note. It says there's more shit happening that's problematic than I have time for. Because more problematic things were happening in a row than I could take down in notes. Like, one thing would happen, I'd start writing about it, and then another thing would happen, and I have to stop the note, make a new one, and start writing. I had like a bunch of half-written notes, and then eventually, like, I just gave up writing notes because the movie was just... I didn't need to take notes because it's predictable. Front to back, they just rinse and repeat the same thing the whole time.
I did at least say when we watched the stage show that the movie does a better job of like at least building up Sandy and Danny's relationship, whereas the play was just like...
I don't think the play was about Sandy and Danny's relationship, though. I think the play was about Kaneki, which I think is a kind of a clever way to go about doing it if you don't have as much time as the musical that you're doing your musical based on. So just say, fuck it, restructure the plot around a different character and make it a smaller story. That could be fun and interesting to do. However, don't do Grease. It's bad.
There are a lot of more musicals that they could do.
Now we go to a pep rally. After we have a song about...
We're just done about Summer Lovin' and all the sex and stuff?
All they talk about is, did you fuck? Did you fuck? Did she put up a fight? Oh, yeah, did you commit an assault over the summer? And he goes, ah. And they go, ah.
Okay, carry on. Pep rally.
We go to the pep rally. The first thing that you notice is there's about 1 billion people at this pep rally, which is funny because they mention that the team is on a 7-year losing streak. Holy shit. 7 years? You've taken L's for 7 years and people came to the pep rally? The students give a shit?
Gotta love an underdog.
No! We do not love an underdog at Rydell. Everyone hates everyone. There's no moral compass to any of these kids. They don't love underdogs. Plus, all the jocks are portrayed as meatheads anyways. Not like they have a brain between any of them. It's not their fault. That's how they were written. Also, at the pep rally, we just do a quick lynching of an effigy. You know, classic pep rally shit.
Listen, I came, like, literally the year before we had a bonfire at my high school, and the year I started, bonfires were banned. So I can't testify to what a bonfire pep rally looks like, James.
I mean, and I'd say they built a gallows.
To hang the other team's mascot.
To hang a mannequin in the other team's colors.
Yeah. Team spirit.
Also,
Woo!
It's a pep rally pre-football season, right?
Yeah, it's like your homecoming pep rally.
The teams, now I'm not a high school sports guy because I didn't do sports. The team has to play more than one other team for the season, right?
Yeah, but okay, so there's like 3 games that actually matter in high school football.
The homecoming game.
Your homecoming game, the like one that's like right before like Thanksgiving, and then your last football game of the season.
Okay. So, but you still have to play more than one team.
Yeah.
Right, you play the teams that are around and in your division.
But I can tell you right now, the only other team I know that Doherty played against, which was my high school, by the way, was the Palmer Terrorists, or the
Palmer
Terrors, because that was our big rivalry. So generally, it's like the big rivalry that you get really...
Doherty would have a rivalry with Palmer.
Oh, we hate each other.
Yeah.
I don't even care, and I'm still like, Palmer.
That's where Aaron went to school.
That tracks. So...
He was really good at tennis. Anyways.
I mean, we did have a very close to incident where it was 2011 and they made our homecoming shirts, and the only reason
years old.
The only reason this is important is that because it was 2011.
1-1.
And the whole thing about Palmer is terrorize this.
Oh no.
Because they're the terrors.
Oh no.
So.
Oh man. Oh boy. Good thing Doherty didn't have a mascot that was a plane. Anyways, the acting in the movie's bad, but I don't think it's necessarily their fault.
I think there's some stellar standout like moments too, which we pointed out.
The problem is that they have stellar standout moments, and not like, oh man, they did a good job acting in this movie. It's like, oh man, they had a good scene. That's not good for business. Now, I will say, it does not appear that it matters whether or not that's good for business, because the movie has lived for eternity, and no one has condemned it to hell yet, although they probably should have. It's lauded as a classic. It's one of the great musicals that I had never seen before, and now I've seen it, and I wonder why. Because it's not good in any way. I can tell you High School Musical 3 is not better, but High School Musical 2 is. Kenny Ortega did him, okay? Like, what are you gonna do? The guy's a legend. I decided Frenchie was the best character in the movie because she's genuinely nice to most of the people she interacts with. And that is sad.
Yeah, I think she genuinely is just like probably the...
Because she's kind of portrayed as a ditzy type of dumbass.
Yes.
But she's also the nicest person at the school.
Yes.
And then she wants to drop out of school to do a thing. Like, she has a goal and initiative, and none of the other characters have a goal, by the way. None of the other characters have a goal the whole time. They don't have, what's the word? Plot? Or story or arcs or defining characteristics other than aggressively horny. Even Sandy doesn't really have a character arc.
No, Frenchie's the only one that does.
Frenchie is the only character that has a character arc.
Goes to beauty school, fails
and drops out,
comes back,
graduates high school
diploma, gets a boyfriend.
Yeah, Frenchie is the best character in the movie. Now, I can't speak to the Broadway musical show because I've not been to see it, so, theater kids, stay back. Keep the glitter away from me. She's got it covered. You don't have to worry about it. You've got the glitter. Sometimes you glitter me like it's an attack on my personal space. I just have a note. It's my 18th note, and it says, bitches. And then the next note says, fucking horniest folks ever.
Oh, we're at the sleepover. That's
right,
why.
At the sleepover. They're mean.
They're bitches.
And they're bitches the whole time.
Look at me.
I'm Sandra D. And that's much of that music we can sing. Fucking copyright, baby. So they're mean to her at the sleepover, and she's also... she goes to the sleepover because
peer pressured the fuck
she's
out.
Introduced to Danny for the second time. Like they show her to Danny, and Danny very clearly, like it's not even a question, sees her and is excited. He's like, "Oh, it's the girl I was all about." And then he remembers that, like, "Oh, that's right. I'm a man. I'm not supposed to do that." And like his boys are behind him, and they do the acting thing that they're supposed to do, where they're like, "Attraction for a woman, an object, how dare you?" And he defaults into the don't worry about me. What the fuck is wrong with you? And he just he doesn't. It's funny because she plays it off like he's being an asshole, but very clearly, it's like not even a question. If you look at him, you go, oh, he's uncomfortable with this whole situation and doesn't know how to act. A child could tell you that. But she reads the situation as, oh, he hates me. I wish I'd never met him. Which I think might be a bit of an overreaction.
I think she is as a female here. The way she's reacting is, oh, he's just a jerk. Like, I thought I met this really nice guy. Turns out he's an asshole. Like every other guy.
Which would be a totally fair assessment if it weren't for the fact that Danny allegedly has feelings inside of his cold, dead leather jacket. So then, she's heartbroken immediately. And the girls go to have a sleepover. The pink ladies have a sleepover. In which they drink. Do they do drugs?
Nope, just smoke.
They drink and they smoke. They make Sandra D. Also, what is with the tobacco consumption? Was the 50s really the era of tobacco?
Yep.
Holy
Remember Fred
shit.
Flintstone did a commercial for Camel cigarettes?
Nope, I don't, because I was not alive in that time.
As the cultural...
the cultural guru.
The cultural guru in this room, yes, there is a actual commercial that was created where Fred Flintstone The children's character sold Camel cigarettes.
To this day, I don't think I've seen an ad for cigarettes.
No, because we come from the generation
of the cigarette ad where it's just a warning because it's a person with a fucking vocalizer in her
What's
throat.
What's that freaking brand? It's the Truce brand.
Yeah, they're the anti-drug people.
Well, that's gonna drive me crazy that I don't actually know their name. I haven't watched real TV with real commercials in a minute.
They're fine, it's whatever. But my god, everyone smokes all the time. Every scene is smoky. It's awful.
That's why we needed those ads, because everyone did that, and then everyone started getting lung cancer, and they were like, "Oh shit, we gotta fix this shit."
Well, yeah, because when you smoke tobacco, it kills you slowly. So we're at the sleepover, and they're bullying Sandra D, and they go to.
It's the truth.
Frenchie goes to pierce her ear, and I guess misses or does pierce her ear, and there's blood or whatever. And so they go in the bathroom, and Sandy proves that she is indeed incapable of being a human, as she sees blood and immediately vomits.
To be fair, she wasn't doing great to begin with because she smoked a cigarette and didn't feel good, and then she drank some wine.
Still doesn't feel well. Also, she's had a traumatic day. It could be from other stuff, but I mean, the sight of blood.
Some people really can't deal with it.
Some people can't, and that sucks. That sucks a lot because you have a lot of blood inside of you, and it is at some point going to come out.
I kind of like blood.
Okay, that's enough of that. I'll blink 3 times if I need help. So they're so horny and so annoying all the time, and then out of nowhere, Kaneki and his shitty car and all the leather jacket gang pull up into the driveway, and Rizzo decides, well, I'm leaving now. Never mind the sleepover.
I'm gonna go get laid.
Yes, this is what she has decided.
Slay, queen.
But also, was this prearranged? Or, I mean, it must be because the guys just showed up.
No, if you listen to their dialogue, Danny wanted to come there to try to win Sandy back.
Okay. To prove that he has emotions in his cold, dead leather jacket?
Well, and to kind of just, like, smooth things over, and Rizzo seizes the opportunity because Danny's like, never mind, I want to leave, like, in the driveway.
There's all this tension between Rizzo maybe wanting to fuck Danny?
No, they had.
Oh, no!
That's, like, a previous relationship.
Well, man, okay, well, shit. He's fucking so mean to her.
Because Rizzo's kind of a bitch.
Well, Rizzo's terrible, but also Danny's terrible, but also Kaneki's terrible, but also everyone is bad but Frenchie. And also, Sandra D doesn't learn anything.
Nope.
So Rizzo comes down, and this is where we're gonna. I'll talk about this scene, and then we'll wrap for this episode, and we'll pick up the next one. Because boy, am I gonna go off.
More than we already have?
It's the 1970s, so PG doesn't mean the same thing that it means now.
That is accurate.
So, oh man, I just thought of something that I'll tell you on the break. It's going to be hilarious. Rizzo, everyone was in sort of like nightgowns, night clothes at the sleepover, and now, out of nowhere, Rizzo's dressed and climbs down a tree out of a window to the floor, or to the lawn, because the guys roll up. And they're drinking open containers in a car. I don't know when that became illegal, but it must not have been the 50s. So, also, they're children drinking beer and smoking cigarettes.
They had a whole conversation about anybody got money, like anybody got beer money. I borrowed my brother's ID. Like, there's a whole...
How did I miss half this shit?
It's all, like, background dialogue. You gotta, like, listen to, like, the background.
So, like, watch it again, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
So, she goes down there and she says like 4 things, and immediately it's like locked up, said and done. She and Kaneki are gonna go fuck around, right? So Zuko decides he no longer wants to be a part of this venture that he started, so he bails. And on his way out, Rizzo says the first of 2 rather graphic lines in the scene. where are you going? To flog your log? Which is, I've never heard, but I know what that means. Okay? This movie's PG. Okay?
I mean, they didn't go say masturbate, so...
No, but they follow it up with more.
Yeah, the other one I can't save anything on.
Also, Zuko calls her sloppy seconds, and they're his sloppy seconds. So, what's that about? You don't... You've been there, brother. What? Settle down.
I think the idea is Rizzo's been around.
Oh, no! So have you! Whoa!
But girls can't do that.
Right. The dipstick's got gonorrhea. So he fucks off to walk down the street because he's a sad and emotionally fragile male. And Kaneki gets Rizzo in the car, and they're gonna back out and get into the street. And Rizzo goes, "What is this, a gangbang?" Or she says something along the lines of...
She's like, what do you guys think this is, a gangbang?
Yeah, that's it. That's the line. And fucking the guys don't miss a beat. They go, you wish. Jesus. Bad enough to say the first. Holy shit, you said the second. The scene is canceled. We're done. It's all over. We can't do this anymore.
For legal purposes, in our first stream on YouTube, CityWaves Entertainment does not support or promote the ideas that are mentioned in this movie.
Don't smoke cigarettes, kids. It makes you do adult stuff.
Sexual assault is bad. Even attempted sexual assault.
You heard it here first. In case you were unaware, don't.
Consent is important.
Right. You know who does get consent? Rizzo. You know who doesn't? Zuko! Anytime! So, they fucking... Kaneki is like, guys, fuck off. And they go, no! And he goes, no, but like, actually, fuck off. And they go, right. And they fuck off. And they're like, let's get pizza, I'm hungry. I don't know, what day is it? What month is it? Where are we? What town is this? What's happening? What is going on in real life right now? That teenagers do this thing. I wasn't a real boy, okay? Leave me alone. So they take off and they go to fucking make out point because that's a thing that we have to have. Was that just Gold Camp Road?
No, nobody goes to Gold Camp Road to make out.
I feel like people should.
No, that's where the fucking ghosts are. You don't go to Gold Camp to make it. I think some people do, but I don't.
I mean, it's safe. The ghosts will get you. They'll protect you.
The ghost children don't need that shit.
The cops aren't coming up there. There's ghosts. Anyways, that's enough for this fucking episode. It's just so much. It's like...
And you were worried we wouldn't have enough content for 2 episodes.
I was worried because I didn't write down very many notes. But there's just so much sex the whole time. There's not more than that. The whole movie is just that. And there's some songs. And they're not even that good songs.
I was like, those are bops.
No, they're fucking bad. They're fucking bad. They're not good. They're not even good for the 70s.
Shoop up up, yeah.
That's not words. That's almost scat man. I'm a scat man. That's as much of that song as we can use as well.
I don't know that song.
Well, it's like musical theater meets the blues. Jesus Christ, end it all.
Everyone, hello.
Boy, howdy.
Hi, stream people. It's our first ever vote on... Did I roll over your toe?
Yeah, you did.
You didn't move fast enough.
All right.
It's our first ever vote on YouTube.
Don't put another fucking musical, please.
Okay. So you guys get to vote, if you're new here, on our next movie. And you don't have channel points anymore, so that's unfortunate for y'all. You cannot influence the vote by channel points. So we have New Mary Poppins. I hate this keyboard. I feel like it is the loudest thing that has ever existed. ever. And there's no arrow keys. Bullet train. Will I torture you guys now? Listen, if I can figure out a way for you to have nuggets of friendship on this channel, Green Gorilla, I will get them for you, and I will reimburse you somehow. I have to learn more about YouTube, but right now I don't think that's actually like a thing you can do. I know there's like way to set up like there's way to set up certain thing certain. Can I only do 4? Alright, well, I guess you only get 4 this time. No more 5 votes either. Alright. Yeah, I know there's a way to set it up like where you can join as like members on a channel, which you probably need to be a little bit higher up than we are. So the minute I can get you those, I will reimburse you for your Twitch points.
We need to become monetized.
That's what
we have to hit a certain number of viewing hours and subscribers.
That's what happens when we start over. We had this we did this when we became affiliates, and
yeah, it's gonna happen faster in YouTube land actually, because we streamed for 15 minutes, like 25 minutes there to begin with, and the YouTube analytics told us that we had like an hour and a half of watch time, which is badass because we need like 3,000 watch hours to hit the fucking
I also just get to let this run. So
in 2 weeks we're gonna have a fucking riot.
If it's not 1. The poll is, what was that? All right. We'll be right back. Hello. 2 votes? Did you both vote for Blazing Saddles? Two vote? How, Hannah? Two votes. Poll complete. Blazing Saddles. Did you vote?
No, I did not.
Hannah! Oh.
No way, dude.
Oh, you're reading Hannah's comment?
Oh my god. Really?
Yeah, that's apparently a thing. You didn't read the IMDb trivia, did you?
No.
I'm surprised. Normally you're neck deep in that by now.
I'm disgusted by this movie. Why would I want to know more?
Well, apparently you should know more.
I'm gonna have to now. I'm intrigued. What other absolute unacceptable behavior occurred?
The hell is Blazing Saddles?
Blazing Saddles is, you know, Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Yeah.
It's that. Earlier.
Western?
Hmm?
You're gonna make me watch another bad Western parody movie?
No. I'm gonna make you watch a good Western parody movie.
What did I do to you guys? I know Green Gorilla likes to spread it out, but... Hannah! I didn't save it. My bad. What happened?
Nothing.
Okay. I had a slight panic. You scared the crap out of me. Maybe, I guess I must have just clicked. My bro chose Blazing Saddles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
That's what we want to see, baby.
I like how one of those is definitely a Knit's tail.
Oh yeah, we misspelled that shit. We're calling this. What fucking movie is this? Grease.
Hey, look, it's not a long title. Grease Part 1. It's like you've never done this before. At least it's not a long title. You don't have to type it. It's just one word.
And
someday I'll get you to watch Mamma Mia 2, which is great because you've already seen Mamma Mia 1.
I've seen Mamma Mia 2.
You haven't.
Have I not?
No, because I've only watched it one time.
It's just 3 or 4 ladies who are just mad horny.
It's different this time.
Right. Is Christine Baranski still in it?
Yeah, but she's really old now.
But is she still mad horny?
I don't remember. I've only seen it once. That's how I know you haven't seen it. Because I legitimately saw it in theaters, downloaded most of the soundtrack, and that was it.
Mamma Mia.
Here I go again.
Mama.
And stop. Alright. New project. Mamma Mia, the whatever one doesn't just say Mamma Mia.
Here we go again, yes?
Yes. It's what made me add Lily James to my
No, I think I've seen this. I've seen parts of this.
I've shown you videos.
No. Like someone watched this on a TV and I was either in the room or in the room adjacent.
You know what it was?
What was it?
I used to watch the YouTube clips of the songs while I was getting ready and stuff.
No, but like I've seen the scenes and the sets.
That's what I'm saying, on my phone with the clips of the YouTube.
No, but I mean like on a big TV.
Yeah.
You don't cast to the big TVs.
Our old house, our old apartment, Colorado, the TV in the living room.
Mom's house.
Yeah, Grammy would play it.
Did she not just put on the whole movie?
I mean, she did, but you were probably on your phone playing League.
Definitely on my phone. Definitely not paying attention.
TFT or something.
But yeah, look. That guy's great. That guy's great.
They're all
that guy's
really,
also
really
great.
old now.
Yeah. They're some of my favorite old guy actors.
They were old in the first one. Now we're really, really old. All right, and that's not what we're here to talk about.
Everyone was confused about who was whose dad. Hey, look, it's the daughter from The Last of Us.
Is it really? Holy shit!
Yeah, no shit. Look at her.
Who's she play?
I don't know. She's just there.
I think it's the director's daughter.
I don't know. She's just there.
Also, did you see that Carhartt made a Last of Us jacket?
No.
Jack was wearing it today. Like his jacket.
How much do buy?
There's a whole freaking line.
There's a line? Why is Carhartt not the first website? I'm sorry, I'm derailing us entirely.
Maybe they're not the ones selling it. Maybe they just make it.
Why wouldn't they sell it? That seems silly.
I know it had their logo on it in Jack's video. But that would be why it's not the first thing that comes up.
This is some good fucking survival shit.
Hey, James, focus. You are ADHDing.
I will buy all of it.
The Last of Us? Well, this is clearly not it. You need to go to the first link that you looked up.
I don't know why I did everything that I've done.
Which is a great show if you haven't seen it.
Absolutely.
See?
Is PlayStation selling it?
Mm-hmm. They have the hat. Jack was wearing the jacket. I don't know who made the jacket. You need to go to the PlayStation Gear store.
See Carhartt on
it. No, he made a TikTok.
Yeah, but did he? This is the content people pay for.
Maybe it was on Twitter. You fully derailed us just because I mentioned the jacket.
Oh, yeah.
And now Aries needs to go out.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Here.
I saw this. Is there a link? Does he post a link to it?
Someone's selling it somewhere. I've heard someone talk about it. Who was talking about selling The Last of Us? Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to do this on our own time, James.
I'm so sad. I need it immediately.
Well, I will look at it for Christmas for you or something, but right now that's not what we're doing.
All right.
I'm gonna go let the dog out.
All right. Grease part 1 is done. We're on to Grease part 2. Now, where are my notes? Oh my god, I forgot one of my favorite parts from that scene. We'll come back. We'll circle back. It'll be great. Oh man. Thank you guys for tuning into our first ever YouTube stream. I really appreciate it. Making the transition from platform to platform is kind of scary. It's just scary because you have to step away from a following that you built up and step into a
comfort.
realm. Yeah, something that you're going to something new. That's spooky.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, just about.
You know where you are?
I do, and I have more notes about that same scene.
3, 2, 1.
You know how there's a specific like asshole walk? Do you know about this? Do you know about the asshole walk?
I probably do, but I'm a little confused where we're going right now.
All right, so welcome to Grease Part 2, motherfuckers. This is CityWavesCinema live, but only if you were actually here on YouTube when we made it.
I'm America.
This is James. And now here's the deal, okay? Grease Part 2, where we left off last time. Rizzo hops in the car with Kaneki and the gang, and Kaneki makes the gang fuck off, right? Now, it's the way those three guys walk into the transition that made me write this note. I wrote a note and it says, the way they walk is just infuriating. And I'm going to demonstrate for the live audience, and I'll do my best to describe it with words for your ears, for listeners in the future. But basically, the way they do this walk is they have a jacket, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to be a Southside Surfer. Briefly.
You got to unzip it. It's so that it hangs properly.
Yeah, but now the bit is ruined. Yeah.
No, just unzip it. Just a jacket. Jesus.
Here is my very small leather jacket. Cheryl. That's her name, right?
Yeah, you got it. I'm impressed.
Yeah. So, they turn around, right? Facing away, so you can see the logo on the back. And all three of them, Hutch, Sonny, and what's-his-fucking-face, do the same thing at different times. They take the jacket in their fingers, and they jerk it forward, so it's real tight, so you can see the logo on their back as they walk away. And they walk away, it's like they're swaying their hips, but instead of swaying their hips, they're just like rotating their shoulders back and forth. And so they walk away kind of like this, just with an arched back, their asses are out, their shoulders are back where their asses are, and they're just like shaking their heads back and forth, like just jerking around, being assholes. It's one of the most annoying things that I noticed in the movie, is that's how they walk all the time. Wide steps, shoulders back, jacket taut, just bouncing around. Fucking awful. Now I gotta put this back the way I found it, or my wife is going to be very upset with me.
Meanwhile, while James is doing that, the next scene that we go to is...
We have to sing the song in the moonlight.
Yes, is Hopelessly Devoted to You, which is... It's one of my least favorite scenes in the entire show. It goes on for way too long. I don't actually give a fuck. It's slow. It's boring. It's just not a good scene. It's just not. I don't like the song. I don't like the message in the song. I don't like Sandy all that much.
I was paying so little attention to the song and what she was talking about because I was so struggling with the poor camera operator for this scene. Is tracking Sandy all over the backyard of Frenchie's house. Is Frenchie's house?
Yes.
Yeah, Frenchie's house. Just doing his best to keep her in frame and stuff as she moves throughout the scene. But the one thing that they cannot nail is the focus. And it's especially prevalent in a particular point where Sandy is like leaning up against a post on the deck, and there's some wood slightly in front of her face that would technically be in the foreground. And the shot is supposed to be a focus on her. But the focus, if you look very closely, like I do because I make movies, is on the beam in front of her. So she is just a little bit hazy. Now, this could be on purpose if you want to read into her trying to be in a dream state. That could be an artistic choice. And if it is, that's kind of clever. I like the idea of, oh, if you're trying to have a character be in this sort of dreamlike sequence, make them a little out of focus. Not too much. Keep the focus close to them.
And for the love of God, don't put them in a vignette or James will come after your ass.
Oh yeah, don't vignette. Fucking hate a vignette. I put vignettes on lots of photos that I edit. Because I'm a hypocrite.
But you can't put them in film, apparently, because James about burned the Sabrina show to the ground for that.
My God, they just did it so much. They did it, it was so much. It would have been different if it was... Anyways, that's Sabrina the Teenage Witch on Netflix. Starring Kiernan Shipka. So, I didn't like the focus pull because it hadn't been consistently off until this scene in particular. Like, other scenes where Sandy's singing, she's in focus. Other people in scenes are in focus.
Other clips in this song, she's in focus.
Yeah, she kind of does wander in and out of focus. And I you know, they made it in probably 77 and 78, so I just don't know what the technology of the time was. I mean, I learned how to make movies in the year 2015. So that's 40 plus years of variation, you know? I can't speak to whether or not they were just bad or they did it on purpose or the gear was just too difficult to use. I have no idea, but it bugged me. Now we got to cut to make out point, where there are 4 or 5 cars with couples in various stages of getting it on, because nothing is more arousing than fucking in the backseat of a car next to another couple fucking in the backseat of a car. And I want you to know that when I lay stuff out front to back like that, and I ruin perfectly classical, lovely things for you, it's because every time I see something, I lay it out in my head like that. That's how my brain works. I've ruined so many things.
That's what this channel's built on.
It really is built on violence and hatred towards movies. Also, I didn't know Kanicki's car was not a convertible because it has a roof in this scene and this scene only.
That's what a convertible is, James.
Right, but I assumed because he got it and he drove it up and it was a piece of shit, right? It looked to me like there wasn't even a roof part.
I mean, if you look at the actual, it's like torn and shattered.
Oh yeah,
and barely
it's frayed.
Holding together.
It matches, but this is the first time you see it or anyone even makes mention of it. I thought that someone had straight up lifted the top part of that car off because it was in such dishevelment when they got it. So, man, Rizzo and Kanicki go to get it on in the back seat, and they're making out and stuff. And does the guy hit them before or after the condom incident?
After.
After the condom incident? Okay. They're making out and stuff. And it's one of the most disturbing kissing sequences I've ever seen committed to film. Like, the actor who plays Kanicki, I hesitate to make judgments about him as a person because the whole movie is so horny. But he sticks his whole tongue in her mouth in the scene, and it's very clear.
I wonder if he's the one that insisted giving her the hickeys himself.
Probably.
Maybe he's just a bad guy.
He's probably just a bad guy, but I don't know. If I'm a director and someone does that in a scene and I didn't tell you to do that, fuck are you doing, my guy? That's not the energy I'm looking for. You're gonna need to tone it down. Holy shit, keep your tongue in your mouth. This is a movie kiss. This is not your wife. This is not your partner at home. What are you doing? We're working. You're getting paid right now. Get it together. Holy shit. So he sticks his tongue in her mouth. And then he also doesn't know her name.
Her real name. Her real name's not Rizzo, guys.
Her real name's Betty. And he doesn't know that.
And they've been friends, like, canonically. Like, it's mentioned.
She is not bothered by this. I should mention.
Maybe she doesn't, like, tell anyone her real name.
I wouldn't if my real name was Betty. Not that there's anything wrong with the name Betty.
It doesn't fit in the Pink Ladies, though.
No, Betty is not a Pink Lady name. Also, is Rizzo a Pink Lady name? Rizzo's a nickname. Anyways, she asks him if he has anything, which is a question I did not understand at first, but I did catch on quickly.
That just says a lot about
me as a person and the things I was interested in when I was in high school. And those things were Xbox and not going outside. So Kaneki goes, yeah, and he rummages around in his pockets and he pulls out condom. And he opens the wrapper and it's I can't see it because it's dark and they haven't learned how to light movies yet. And it's just, I assume, a fully disintegrated condom. The latex did not hold up, and they have a distraught moment about it, and he goes, "Oh, I bought it the 7th grade," and I was rocking with the scene mostly up until then, and I was like, "You Kaneki, there's no way the old man of the leather jacket gang does not have a fresh condom. There's no way. There's no way you don't know. There's no way you're that dumb. High schoolers are that dumb. You're not supposed to be that dumb. Although, he's still in high school, so he is canonically dumber than high schoolers. So, I've circled my argument back on myself, and I have to say, that's par for the course for Kaneki. So, they've got the fucking ancient condom that's got a hole in it, and they make a bold decision. A bold decision in a PG movie in 1978. And that is, oh, what the hell? And they decide to bone with all their clothes on in the back of the car anyway. Now, I will say this for this movie. There's not any amount of gratuitous nudity.
No, that's not even its PG rating.
Yeah, they can. It turns out for the MPAA back in the day, you could get away with saying whatever you want.
There's not a lot of swearing either.
You know what you can't do? Show anything. So all they did was write all the sex jokes in as dialogue. And that's how you win and get away with saying whatever you want.
I will say, kids don't listen to movies very much. Because I was telling James, I was like, when I first watched this, I was like in grade school. Enough to the fact that I knew all the words to the song by heart in middle school. So, and there are a lot of jokes that I didn't get until recent years.
Jesus.
I've seen that movie 1,000 times, and I forgot she says gangbang in it, so.
She says the words gangbang in that order.
Also, to be fair, never watched it with subtitles, and a lot of the dialogue just says,
they go fast, they have accents, and they mumble.
It's like listening to Shakespeare if you're like not used to listening to Shakespeare, or if you're not paying real attention to Shakespeare, you basically just don't pick up on anything they're saying.
Shakespeare is silly.
I love Shakespeare.
So then we cut to the shop class, I guess. Is that what happens next? Is we go do the weird dream sequence in the shop class?
Yeah, Grace Lightning,
right,
he dents the car.
He dents the car. The Scorpion King dents the car. And, oh man, the fucking zinger he throws out on the way out is Kaneki's like, you're gonna pay for that, because he knocked his fucking... he hit his car and shit fell off of it. And Kaneki's like, you'll pay for that? And the guy goes, yeah, I'll give you 75 cents for your whole car and your broad too, or whatever.
That was a pretty good accent at the end there.
And fucking Rizzo does not react to this.
In fact, later, she dates him.
Yeah, later, she does go to the dance-off with this motherfucker who called her a cheap whore to her face. I mean, it's not like she was, like, in the throes of orgasm here. Like, they hadn't done anything, and they were both focused in on what was going on. Like, she heard him say, her taste in people is atrocious. So, fucking, we cut back to the shop class the next day, where we've got Grease Lightning in the shop, and Danny Zuko to start the song. He always starts his song so weird. Danny Zuko, to start his song, takes one part of his jacket off. And then he takes the other part of his jacket off, but not all the way off, because he's still holding it. And then he takes it all the way off, and he throws it behind him, and it goes up and back and on top of a cabinet behind him. It would be like if I took my shirt off right now and just threw it willy-nilly, and it landed up on the bookshelf behind me. And I thought to myself as I saw it, I was like, well, Danny, why would you do that? Now you gotta go get it down. And it's not like you like tossed it on a stool next to you or somewhere you could get it. You just throw in your jacket willy-nilly. Wild. Then we do a song where the guys showcase their second personality trait, and that is they're horny. Their first personality trait is also that they're horny, but the two traits are that they're horny for different things. The first thing they're horny for is women. The second thing that they're horny for is cars.
Yep. They're
because,
men.
as you know, manly 33-year-old high schoolers are only one-dimensional. They like chicks and they like cars.
Hey, can I give a progressive shout out to Greece for how much we're trashing them for being like in the ancient times?
Oh yeah. Mention it. It's important. It's cool.
The auto shop teacher is a freaking girl. She is a woman. She is a female teacher teaching auto shop.
And I know exactly how you get there logically.
What do you mean? Oh, like as a directing standpoint?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's how.
But I just want to say there's been a TikTok going around recently that's like this whole thing about like women shouldn't be mechanics, and
I don't know why.
Because some guy said it in a comment of this.
No, I don't know why people are of that opinion.
Oh yeah, no.
If you know the car shit, you know the car shit.
There's this TikToker who's like a female, and she's a mechanic, and so she was talking about like how to help like women handle their cars so they don't have to go to the mechanic. And this guy put in there and he's like, I don't think women even know anything, like know what tools are, like that sort of thing, in like the comment. And everyone was just like, what? And so they've just been
in the year of our Lord 2023?
They've just been like creating meme after meme after meme of this freaking like thing. Like one group of like mechanics, like lady mechanics in the auto shop, I'll just go, wow.
Look at all these tools.
Look at all these tools. What tool do you think is the right tool? Blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, oh, this is the right tool.
And they flip off the camera.
And
it's magnificent.
It was like, so to see that in 1978, the auto shop teacher was a badass female, props to Grease. The rest of the movie, but yeah, continue, James.
Here's how you get there from a directorial standpoint, and if anyone asks you, you can be like, fuck you, this is how it works. In the 1940s, we had a little thing called World War II, where we shipped all of the men and some of the boys to two different places to kill a bunch of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's known lore about the United States that in that time, women entered the workforce en masse and learned skills and did stuff and were badasses, right? Say she learned auto shop shit in the 40s, because the movie's set in the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
So she's an outstanding mechanic. She knows her shit, right?
Yeah.
Gets the job at the school as the shop teacher because there aren't dudes to do it. in an era where you typically would have a male shop teacher in the 50s. I mean, of course you would. It's the 50s.
Also terrible. In the 50s, I wonder if they would have let a woman be a principal.
Maybe. Strong maybe there, but only a strong maybe.
I'm going to start looking up when women could do shit.
But if you got the job and also your principal was a woman, as a shop teacher in the late 40s, mid to late 40s, when we're recouping from World War II, and you're just good, may as well just keep you. Don't want to fucking go through the process of hiring somebody else. You've got the job already, keep the job. It's badass. She's impressive. Anyways, the boys are so horny for the car, and we have this whole weird psychedelic dance number where we're going to make Grease Lightning. Why, this car could be Grease Lightning.
Sorry.
Fucking cannot stand the
automatic,
way they talk. Hydromatic.
Why?
You know what? Danny doesn't know anything about cars. You know what else Danny doesn't know anything about? Sports. Because the next sequence is Danny doing sports. Because Danny's found out that fucking Sandy is going out with the quarterback or some guy on the football team. And so he's decided that now it is he who will learn the sports, because deep down he is an emotional man and he would like to have the nice lady. So now he will learn the sports so that he can be, you know, the object of her affections. And so he goes to the coach of the high school to try and learn the sports. And Danny is fucking incompetent at every sport. It's kind of comical how bad he is at every sport. And yeah, that's kind of the joke, is that he's bad at every sport. But I mean, come on, man. You gotta know how to do one of them. You gotta know how to do one. The only one I can really give him is wrestling. There's technique and shit, and he got matched up with somebody way bigger than him. You gotta know that in basketball, you dribble the ball. They also did not try him out in football. You also gotta know that you don't choke up on the bat that hard when you play baseball. Unless you're gonna bunt that bitch. You do not just... I played baseball for a very brief amount of time, and I know that that's not a good way to hold the bat. But that's
I don't even know if I know how to hold a bat.
In your hands.
Thanks, James.
Here to help.
Like...
Danny doesn't know how to sports. The angle you hold it at doesn't matter as much as the location of your hands on the bat.
Mine are always close together.
Well, yeah, your hands are supposed to be close together, but he holds the bat like halfway up the bat. So there's a bunch of bats sticking out the bottom of his hands. You don't give yourself opportunity by doing that. There's a running gag in the movie that occurs every time the pink ladies or the T-Birds disappear. Whenever the goons go away, the movie gets better. Whenever the annoying crowd of peanut gallery background actors vanish, characters say stuff that's important, and plot progresses. So while they're on screen, you can assume you don't need to pay attention, because nothing important is happening.
Unless you want to miss all those key dialogue points that I was talking about earlier.
Right. The background dialogue that provides...
apparently really important pieces of the story.
The story doesn't make any sense and it's dumb. The movie's dumb, the acting's dumb, the songs suck, this movie's bad. 3.5 out of 10. The movie's better without the fucking... just tiny statements there. They do the car in the shop and they're slowly trying to make it better. I don't know what the fuck happens next. Is the next they go out on the date?
They fix up the car, so... or no, just Grease Lightning, and so they go to the malt shop, don't they?
The next one's the date at the malt shop where everyone shows up with everyone, and Frenchie has her weird hallucination. Is that next?
I think so.
God damn it, we need a fucking... We just watched the movie and we don't know how it goes.
Well, I think they're at the malt shop.
They might be.
You're just questioning me.
I'm questioning my memory. I don't have good memory.
The drive-in's not till after the dance, so it's not that.
Danny meets Sandy at the Frosty Palace and tries to apologize for his actions.
Yeah, it was the one with the...
Oh yeah, I skipped over that part to get to the fucking... didn't even know that the jock's name is Tom Chisholm.
Yes.
That's a terrible name. Shout out to Tom.
So they're at the jukebox and it's the laugh, James, the and not even that. I wish he did that. It's more like
No, because that's like funny, because that's like a Muppet.
That's what he said. Except it's just John Travolta doing it.
No, because he goes ha ha ha. Listen, the semantics about the way that he does his forced laugh is unimportant. Danny reconciles with Sandy after he's running around the track and he does some hurdles and he falls down and she goes, "Danny, no!" and goes to help him. I will say, continuity that I do like, every time Danny falls down or goes down to the ground, which is a lot of times in this movie, he comes up dirty because the ground is dirty, and that's what happens when you go down on the ground. You get dirty. And then he comes up and he's got dirt on him and stuff. Just a nice little point of continuity.
Danny and Sandy are back together.
Hooray! Let's go to the malt shop. So they go to the malt shop.
For like their first official date since the beach.
And they... He wants to go to the malt shop so that they won't be around their friends, so he can't ruin his tough guy image because, you know, tough guys only fuck. They don't date. Holy shit.
That was a sentence you said out loud.
I can't stand this fucking movie, dude. What a terrible goddamn movie. Tough guys only fuck. They don't date. Remember, kids, you want to be a tough guy? Only fuck.
I think it's more just like you can't be like a guy that's like actually sick.
You can't feel things.
Yeah.
You only fuck.
You just gotta treat women like their property. I think that's what they're saying.
The amount of times I saw dudes in this movie put their hands on girls' necks or like grab them strongly by the shoulder and move them around is a lot of fucking times. It happens so frequently. Unreal. I was always short, so I never did that shit. I was small, and people made fun of me for being small.
And that's the reason you didn't do it?
No, I would never think to do that.
There you go.
It would never occur to me in my mostly sheltered youth to grab anyone by the neck, regardless of personage. Why would you do that? It's unnecessary. If you want someone to come this way, ask them to come this way. They're a whole person. If they don't want to, they won't. If they do want to, they will. It's very simple. People are very simple. You don't need to strong arm someone, regardless of age or gender, to do anything. There's never a reason, unless you need to save their life from a burning vehicle or house or something. Then you might need to let's go. But
you really shouldn't grab
extreme circumstances.
You shouldn't grab anybody by the neck.
No, under no circumstances should a person be grabbed by the neck. It's a very fragile place. You know what's not? Torso, shoulders, strong points of the body. If you need to move somebody, go there. Fuck. Anyways, they go to the malt shop because Danny doesn't want to ruin his tough guy image with his homies. And guess who's at the malt shop on dates? All of his tough guy homies. What image are you ruining with your friends who are out here trying to bone? They know you also are trying to bone. What image are you fucking up here? Yes, America.
I will say they're all there trying to bone, but they're still being their asshole selves.
Right, which is attractive to the pink ladies for reasons.
And he is actually sensitive inside, and when
that's not true.
And when he met Sandy, like it's more like he's in love with her and he doesn't want to screw things up with her, and he can't be either side of himself with her without fucking things up for himself. So
that's right. He can't be sensitive because reasons, and he can't be Danny Zuko because reasons. So they go in the malt shop and they dip dive to a table, order some food. They're immediately seen by all of their friends, and a crowd grows. Everyone orders a bunch of food. The food shows up at like Mach speed, like lightning fast service in this malt shop. I would love to go to this malt shop and order me a burger and fries and a shake and just see it get there in moments. If I go, I'm going to rant for a second. If I go to the nearest location where I can get a burger, fries, and a shake, geographically from my house, you know what that place is? It's a Whataburger. And you know how long I have to wait to get a dog shit ass fucking burger and shake and fries from that location? Minimum wait of 25 minutes, regardless of time of day. Incompetent. Get me a malt shop like that one. It's not real. They can't get you that food that fast. They have to cook it.
James is visibly shaking on camera.
This is my second cup of coffee of the podcast. I am heated. So, go to the malt shop. The friends are all there. And blah, 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 blah. Danny's fucking uncomfortable. And then just everyone leaves in a huff. And people are mad. Oh, also, Rizzo has hickeys. And Kanicki's like, hey, a hickey from Kanicki, hey. Yeah.
And we actually just found out from our audience on break
that those were real, apparently.
That one of the other actors insisted on giving her real hickeys himself.
I wonder if she was down.
Like it was consenting?
Yeah. Like if she was like...
Yes, just come suck on my neck for a little bit, will you? I really want the accuracy in this shot. Come on.
Hang on. I'm going to find out who it was. Real quick. Yep, it was Kanicki.
Kanicki insisted on giving her the hickeys himself.
Creep. That's gross. I hate that.
God, hearing shit that happens on old film sets makes me really happy that I was not an actor before, like, the 90s. And even then we have Dan Schneider and shit, so maybe just never, I guess. I was always meant to be in theater.
Yeah, anyway, that shit goes down. Everyone's mad at everyone for some reason, so everyone leaves. And then we're left with just Frenchie in the malt shop because she has to have a plot. And god damn it, it's the only one that there is, so it's the best one. She talks to the waitress. It must be a small town because everybody knows everybody. Talks to the waitress. She also has fucked up her hair on accident in her tinting class and has dyed her hair the brightest pink. And you know, she asks about waitressing and getting jobs and stuff, and then she wishes that she had a fairy godmother to tell her what to do, and then has a drug trip where a man we don't know sings a song to her about how terrible she is at everything and that she should go back to high school. And the whole song is just very cruel and mean. And she spends the whole time doe-eyed at this guy. Just mesmerized by this absolutely 40-year-old lounge singer who is crooning about how the only customers she would ever have are hookers and how she is terrible at everything. Go back to high school.
How she got a nose job, like just insulting her.
The background dancers are also the pink ladies. Just to, you know, reinforce that everyone's a fucking asshole. So that's great. And then she wakes up in the morning, I guess. I don't know, dude. This shit's so fucking bananas. I left it. Oh no!
James had the synopsis up on his phone.
And then I took it down to find out who gave hickeys to who. It was a mistake. Oh, I've missed it. Where is it? There it is. Okay, I gotta scroll. Hold
on. After Frenchie's drug trip, we go to
the school dance.
Yes, saying that.
Yes.
We go to the school dance, which is a nationally broadcast dance competition that happens every year at a high school, I guess. High school.
This is such a wild idea.
This is the only part of the movie I've never understood. It's just like, they're just like, yeah, Rydell High is hosting it, but like, why this high school in this town that's clearly small enough that all the malt shop owners are watching the graduation
and
know all the kids?
They announced it at the beginning of the movie.
What?
The principal announces that they have been chosen to host.
Yeah, but why that high school?
I don't know, probably picked a name off a list. Might have thrown a dart at a board. Who knows?
What I was saying is the town's so small, why would you pick this little podunk tiny high school?
I don't know, the gym is the size of our house. It's so small. Okay. We live in a small house.
Okay.
It's.
I'm just saying the town's small enough that all the malt shop ladies know all the children who are graduating.
That's true. They named them.
They're like, it's Sunny. Look at Sunny. Really do, dude. So like, how is no nationally broadcast dance competition is going to this high school in a town that small? Is what I was trying to get across.
The whole movie is unrealistic and terrible, and you're getting hung up on the fact that the competition landed there randomly?
Yes.
Not the burning effigy at the pep rally?
Yes.
Not the bowling finger move?
Yes.
Holy shit.
It's bothered me my entire life.
Oh, that's what's bothered you. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we go to the dance. Rizzo's mad at Kaneki because they had a spat. So Rizzo decides that she wants to go to the dance with the guy who called her a cheap whore.
To get back at Kaneki.
That's an idea. Yeah.
I kind of get it.
I get wanting to get back at Kaneki. I think you could raise your standards above 75-cent whore.
I was within a very not so good relationship for a year because my high school rival had a restraining order against him. So
did it ever occur to you that maybe she had a restraining order against him for a good reason?
Yeah.
Did that thought occur to you after the relationship ended?
No.
Oh. Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying I get it.
I don't.
Apparently realistic high school thoughts.
Now this has spawned the idea in Kaneki to take a 33-year-old to the dance named Cha-Cha Di Gregorio, which is the most movie name ever. Danny Zuko is rough. Cha-Cha Di Gregorio, that's a movie name. Who also fucked Danny at some point because everyone's used the dipstick. You know what I'm saying? So, but don't worry, he's not a whore.
Men can't be.
I know one. Maybe 3.
Men definitely can be. Again,
the movie's so sexist.
This movie does not reflect our actual opinions.
I need to wrap the movie up so I can rant about all the things that are wrong with it for 10 minutes straight so we can end the episode. Now, dance competition. Everyone's mad at everyone. Everyone's jealous of everyone. Throwaway spots. A bit of pedophilia sprinkled on in there. Because even though they're seniors and maybe 18, we don't know that. We don't know that. We do know that Vince Fontaine is in his 40s. And he is the local disc jockey?
Yeah.
Right, because he does the radio show.
Yeah.
We know he's old. He is an easy middle-aged man. And we know this because we see a shot of him looking at himself in the mirror, and he pats the bottom of his chin, trying to make what invisible double chin he doesn't have disappear. He's vain, very much, and highly interested in acquiring some high school booty.
Again, when you say it like that, it just sounds...
You mean when I say the real thing that happened in the movie? You mean when I say the true things about the movie that you and your family hold so dear to your hearts? This terrible, horrible, no good, very bad movie with bad acting, bad accents, and bad songs? And lots of very morally questionable, all the way to morally degenerate things? You mean that movie and the way I talk about it? Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you're trying to say? Is that it? Did I hit the nail on the head there?
Yes.
Fabulous. So we do a dance-off, and it's fucking weird. And it's just gratuitously sexual. I would equate it to if you took video cameras into a regular high school dance, put them up high, and just pointed them into the mass of students, all you see is sex happening. Maybe it is, maybe it's simulated. All you see is a myriad of variations of grinding on someone. Maybe there's a train of it. I don't know. I've been to like 2 high school dances. And that's how it went. The middle pack of students is just a sweaty ball of people touching people. I did not partake because I don't enjoy that sensation. So, this dance was kind of like that, only instead of all of that happening in a clump, it happened all over the everywhere. And for a brief moment, we almost got Vince Fontaine straight up kissing a high schooler on camera. We almost got that. It was real close. The band was great, though. Was it Johnny Carino and the Blood Boilers or something? I don't know. Johnny somebody and the somethings. I don't know. They were great. They performed admirably. My kingdom to have a live band at a dance. You know how sick that would be? Holy. I would have had a blast. Free concert, baby. Woo!
This episode's gonna go longer than normal.
Oh, yeah. We're getting into the weeds here, baby.
Yeah, because we're not to the end of the movie yet, so it's gonna be a minute. We're still at the dance. We have like 5-6 more sequences to go.
Anyways, then we have betrayal of the highest order for no reason. In the middle of the dance competition, in which most of the student body has been eliminated, and Danny and Sandy are going in. They are feeling the groove. They are performing art, right? Sonny, the portlier of the 35-year-olds, rolls up and just steals Olivia Newton-John. Just steals her off the dance floor. For no reason. He has no motivation to do this. It's not like we saw a plan to prank Danny. It's not like we saw any amount of dialogue in that imaginary background dialogue that America thinks is real. Just because I didn't pay attention to it definitely means it didn't happen. So, I'm sorry, I almost kept it together. So they steal her away. They just whisk her away to the other side of the dance floor.
There is no background dialogue to just like describe the scene happening.
It just happens for no reason at all. It's like, oh, we have to plot. Get her out of there. So they grab her and take her away. And Cha-Cha is like, I don't want to bone this loser, referring to Kaneki, who is canonically the only characters to bone. And she's like, give me my ex back. Okay. And so she goes over to Danny, who is mostly confused as to why his girlfriend has been yeeted. He's like still out on the dance floor, like kind of dancing, like trying to figure out what's just happened. Now, his blood, it's not up here. It's in his arms and legs because he's dancing. So the gears, they're not turning. And Cha-Cha, she hasn't been dancing. She got eliminated earlier, but she's back because also earlier, someone lied about what the names of Danny and Sandy were. I think they called them Fred and Ginger, I guess. I don't know. That was never explained.
2 famous dancers. It was a joke.
Fred Astaire and Ginger something?
Yeah.
Nice.
Like a joke, like, haha.
Oh, that's not good. There's also no payoff for that. So it's like a joke, like, haha. What the fuck? Losing it. So Cha-Cha comes over and just steals Danny, and he doesn't protest at all. He ran away from Cha-Cha earlier in this scene and is now just fine dancing with her. And they proceed to perform an extremely well-rehearsed choreographed dance number. But you suspend your disbelief because you're still shocked that Sonny would steal Olivia Newton-John and make her go away. And also, what a fragile character.
Rue.
To get dragged away with no explanation, turn and see your boyfriend confused, then get stolen by his ex, who you are pretty sure is his ex. And you have the audacity to look at that and not ask questions and not protest in any way. You just go and storm out in a huff. Bro, grow a whole spine. Dude, no. That's not what real people do. In no way is that a real people thing to do. No way. I cannot suspend my disbelief enough, movie. I can't do it. I cannot believe she's a real person. She is pretend. She is what a man thinks a woman is. She's not real. She doesn't have a spine or a brain. It's confusing.
Hey, babe. I think you found what's been wrong with Hollywood for the past 4 decades.
I've unveiled it all live on YouTube today.
It's not knowledge that everybody hasn't already had.
God damn it. Somebody help that young woman. Somebody help her. She needs help. She is scripted to be stupid. Help! Help! Help!
Are you okay?
Help! And it's not the movie either, because I'm pretty sure that happens on Broadway. Help the theater! They did it first!
Are you good?
So Danny and Cha-Cha win. For reasons. It seems like Cha-Cha acts like it was her evil plan all along, even though she found out Danny was going to be at the dance moments ago. They do a spotlight dance, and now here's where Danny becomes a piece of shit. Because instead of protesting at all after he's gotten his bearings, he just is like, oh, well, yeah, I'm fucking cool. And so he does the moonlight dance. At which point, his cronies decide that they are going to act like children for the first time in the movie. And they get in front of the camera and show their ass to the camera. Now, it's okay, everyone in Hollywood. It's okay. These are 30-year-olds. It's acceptable to show a 30-year-old's ass on camera. That's okay. Now, if they were high schoolers, we're really skirting the line. All right? We can't be showing high school ass and saying gangbang in the same movie. Okay? We can't do that. But don't worry, it's fine. They're 30 years old. So then they go to the Danny off camera after the dance, apologizes to his girlfriend on the phone. All right? And she has maybe accepted this because they go on a date where she is frosty and he is dumb and horny.
Yes.
They go to the drive-in because, as everyone knows, the only place you can fuck is in the backseat of a car adjacent to other people in the backseat of a car fucking. I waited until you were drinking to hit that joke.
You're an asshole.
Yeah, but I'm not this bad. So,
oh my God.
Danny once again commits a sexual assault on camera. Or almost does. He almost makes it.
I don't like the claw scene. Like,
that's
like where he's like trying to get at her boob over her shoulder.
It's like the yawn and put your arm around your girl maneuver. Only instead of doing that, he has his arm around her and she's fine with that. And he like breaks all of his fingers to look as predatory as possible to try and cop a feel. Like, dude. At what point in the relationship that you've had with this girl, for going on almost a year now, has she ever been cool with you touching her at all? Like, she doesn't like to be touched, for the most part. She likes to hug, and that's like it. They don't even kiss really at all. At what point have you found it cool to do this? The answer, none. Your blood's not in your brain. I know where it is, and everyone in the audience does too. So he goes to, cup a feel, and she goes, ah, and then falls into the pit that is the front seat of this car. And Danny then also falls into the pit that is the front seat of this car, where you will not see him probably grope her, but definitely try to make out with her. And she goes, no, get off me. And he goes, ah, and does, which is nice. And then she's mad. And this was after, I apologize. This was after he took off a ring that he has never worn before, in a grand gesture to make her his girl, right? It's not like they're getting married or anything. He just wants dibs. And he also had to use his hair grease. Grease, it's in the movie. To get it off his hand, to give it to her. And also, I don't want a greasy ring. Don't fucking give that to me. That's gross. Fucking don't do that. That's terrible. Why would you do that? Not a fucking brain in his body. So, in this moment, we also have to have a new plot line with other characters. Because
Jesus Christ.
Other characters have to pretend to be in the movie also. Rizzo has skipped a period, and she has to talk about it out loud in the bathroom, surrounded by students in the school, because everyone at the school went to the drive-in theater that night, and there are 50 people smoking cigarettes in this bathroom. The whole thing is smoke. No one's going to the bathroom. No one's washing hands or doing any actual bathroom activities. They're hotboxing the bathroom with tobacco, which is not what you want to hotbox with. So this happens, and she tells Marty this. Now, Marty, a liar. That's her character trait. She's horny for older men, and she's a liar. She tells Marty this and goes, Marty, you're not going to tell anybody about this, right? You're not going to do that. You wouldn't do that to me, your friend. You wouldn't hurt me in this way. And Marty goes, no, never. In the room full of people. In the room full of people who definitely go to the school with her and know who Rizzo is. And Marty's loudly proclaimed that are you PG? Pregnant? Progurginant? And they leave the bathroom and Marty goes, no, I'd never tell a soul. And immediately their way is blocked. And she goes, move it, baby on board. Like, holy shit, dude. Fucking Rizzo, pick your friends better.
She actually says, lady with a baby coming through.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And Rizzo does not react to this other than to, like, kind of roll her eyes. Like, I don't know what you thought was going to happen when you told Marty this, if that was the reaction you gave when she totally violated your trust just now. And you do see the best shot in the movie, okay? The camera pans along the cars in the drive-in. In the background, you see Rizzo walk. And in the foreground, you watch telephone happen as news of Rizzo's imminent baby, who may or may not be real, travels along everyone because Marty tells Sonny, who has his 5 o'clock shadow, and then Sonny tells everyone.
I just have to tell you that this is how news travels at my job. Like, right now. This is highly accurate to, like, gossip.
People just wander about the campus and talk.
So what generally happens is something will occur to the person.
It goes in a Teams message.
No. The person...
Smart. Keep it off the...
someone observes, like, they tell them, or someone observes, and it just, like, immediately you go to, like, your friend in a different classroom and be like, oh my gosh, you won't believe what just happened. And then that person is, like, teamsing their other friend in a different classroom.
High school never ends.
Like, like, this has just happened. And then, like, by the time, and I know because I've been the one to give the news before, and by the time, like, you go back to even, like, just sit down and get back to what you're doing, someone's coming up and being like, did you hear the blah, blah, blah? And you're like...
Like, holy shit, it circled back real fast.
I was like, but I'm the one that said that. So, it is accurate gossip nature that would be exactly how that went down.
So, Rizzo manages to make it to the same car Kaneki is lighting his cigarette at. By the way, what fucking lighters were these in the 50s? Where it was just a small bonfire in front of your face? Because every time Kaneki lights a cigarette, it's with a lighter that is also a flamethrower. And it's like the biggest fucking fire in front of his face. Like, I like fire, but I would not light a cigarette in my mouth with a small flamethrower. Just a horrible, horrible way to go about it.
Especially not with that much hair product in.
True. His head is flammable. Now, she makes it to this point. Kaneki hears Rizzo's pregnant, and he goes, well, there she is. Let's talk about this now. Because he assumes it's his. Because apparently, in the back of that shitty car on Makeout Point, they did do the nasty. So he confronts her about it and is like, I want to take care of my mistakes. I don't run from my mistakes, which is like trying to be a stand-up guy, I guess. Maybe one redeeming feature about Kaneki. And then Rizzo goes, hey, fuck you. It's not your mistake. And he goes, ooh, mama. And she fucks off. And he's just sad. Now there's the sexual assault on Sandy.
There we go.
Sandy
we come all the way back around.
Runs away in a huff, as one is supposed to do when they get assaulted by their boyfriend. And Danny laments his bad luck at getting laid in a song where he complains about being sad and alone. And no one shed a tear for the degenerate douchebag. Not one soul felt an ounce of empathy for that piece of shit. How is he the main character? What a morally bankrupt movie. What a morally bankrupt show.
I've realized as we've continued on this long, the longest podcast episode we've ever recorded, that
this can't be the longest one.
I've run out of arguments at this point to try to
You can't redeem them.
Movie, and
they're just bad people. It is a movie about bad people, and no one gets redemption at the end.
I see this now.
You do? You figure it out?
Yeah.
Great. Now let's do the car race.
Okay.
In a moment where we panic about gay, Kaneki has a soul briefly, and he wants Danny to be his second in the race. What that means, no one knows. But it means something to Danny at some emotional level. Because they go like, yeah, like pretend to fight, and then they get big hug, and then they go, right, anyway, we gotta be cool, and they're combing their hair and shit.
I'm gonna die.
It's just Tim Allen going, you know? But it's two of them. And it's so funny because they do the hug and it's like, oh man, genuine human connection. And then they go, oh no, that's some gay shit. And Kaneki goes back to his car where the rest of the T-Birds are standing around and they're going like, was that some gay shit just there? And he's like, hey, fuck you, and fuck you. Fuck off. Get away from my car, you fucking assholes. And Danny like skirts off to go do like athlete shit. Or something. I don't know. He just fucks off. Danny's not a real character.
I'm not gonna live through this podcast.
This is maybe my best work.
My God.
This is maybe my best work, okay? This is gonna be a fucking baller of an episode. We might get ads in the podcast world off this shit. So, they go to the Los Angeles River, which is a stream in a ditch. And that's real life. So now you know where the movie is. Rydell High is in Los Angeles. So they go to the river, and the shop teacher comes with, and we find out, oh, we're racing for pinks. Apparently. So the fucking Scorpion King is back with Cha-Cha, you know, for reasons. And they're going to race the two cars, Grease Lightning versus the car that catches fire every time it drives. And you know, I mean, it's telegraphed. They're not going to fucking lose the race. They're just not. There's no way they lose this race, right? It can't happen. They're the protagonists, I think. They can't lose. So they're futzing about with the car, and they're going to race for pinks. And Kaneki hears about this, and Danny takes major offense for some reason. He's like, all right, well, we're going to fucking brawl right here, right now.
Like, instantaneously.
He's like, this is what being a second is you hear news and you start a fight. What the fuck, dude? Are any of these people real people? Like, is that just a thing? Did you just get in brawls if your buddy had a conversation and you were like, man, fuck that?
I'm gonna need the boomers to weigh in here.
I'm gonna need the people who were in high school in the 50s. Like, holy shit, man. Fucking get in the comments, all right? I need to know what the fuck was going on. So they're gonna race for car ownership, and the shop teacher is fine with this. For reasons. Once again, she's a bad motherfucker, okay?
I love her. She became my new favorite character in this movie.
She might be... Frenchie is a redeemable character. The other ones aren't. So they go to do the race, and... Oh, I skipped over Rizzo's sad song about herself being a whore.
No one gives a fuck.
And no one cared. So...
It is the worst scene in the entire
Why is it included? It doesn't fit. The more I talk about it, the more I'm like, you know what? The Royal Caribbean show might have actually been better. There's more gratuitous sexual jokes in it, but it might have been better. So they'd go to do the race, and Kaneki is like brushing something off on the bottom of the car, and dumbass opens the car door directly into the top of his fucking skull, and he falls over completely unconscious. And I was like, wow, that's contrived to get Danny in the driver's seat. Holy shit. And so he sits up a little bit later, and he's very obviously concussed. He's talking, he's laughing like he's high, and there's two of Danny. And so they go, okay, well, you clearly can't drive, so Danny's going to race the car. And Danny becomes like the stoic hero of the day. He doesn't say shit. He doesn't speak to anybody. He doesn't do or say anything. He's like, fuck all of you. I'm getting in the car. I'm going to do this thing. And he gets in the car. They explain the race. 1, there are no rules, which is a paradox. 2, the only rule is you have to go over there and then come back and that's the race, and those are the rules. But don't forget, there are no rules. God damn this fucking script. So they go to do the race. And now Captain of the Scorpion Mobile has installed tinfoil spikes on his car, on the wheels, with which he will use to put a giant fucking gash in the car he's trying to beat so he can own. Not a brain cell in this fucking guy, okay? Not one. It's also how you know he's not gonna win the race. So they race. Danny's doing great. He beats him by a fucking country mile because once again, there are no rules, so the track doesn't matter. And Danny goes over a jump, completely totals the car, okay? You watch it in slow motion. All of the front of the car gets fucked up on the landing to this jump because it's a jump on a car from the 50s and the engine weighs 45,000 pounds. And there's no weight anywhere else in the car. So as soon as it goes up, it comes straight down. And for some reason, this also destroys the Scorpion King's car as he skids out and just stops driving. And he's like, man, fuck. And Danny wins the race. And he turns around and he looks at that guy and he gives him a shit-eating grin. Like, man, you suck ass. So now Kaneki owns both cars, I guess. And now, off in the distance, we have seen Sandra D sitting with no shoes on, I guess, watching the race. And it comes to her in this moment that she is unhappy. And the only way to be happy is if she changes her entire persona to be a pink lady.
Yep.
Because that is how you're going to win the heart of Daniel Zuko.
I think it's more like just fitting in. Like, because she wants to have the pink ladies as her friends.
Okay.
And, like, be part of that group. So she just wants to fit in. I don't think it necessarily has to be all about Danny.
No! Because she asks Frenchie, who is her friend, to help her get a look that she specifically uses for Danny. It's not for Rizzo, who's there, who doesn't always wear black. It's not for the other pink ladies who assist in the transformation. They're already friends. They didn't do anything to deserve that, but they're already friends. She transforms her entire look into a weird, almost goth bombshell with the tightest leather pants at the carnival after graduation, where Danny has also committed to the bit to change his persona to get the girl at the risk of losing his friends, which he kind of does because he doesn't have more than a brain cell. He shows up to the carnival in his Leatherman jacket, and his boys make fun of him for it. And he goes, hey, fuck you. I did this for the girl. And they go, choosing the girl over us? What is this? Equality? Fuck you. And he goes, yeah, fuck you. You could almost say it's a redeeming character trait. Except then he reverts and he gets excited about the girl who changed for him because she's in all black and her titties is out and her ass is nice and she looks dangerous. And she says, tell me about it, stud. Holy shit, what a boner he has now. And so they have to sing a love song as they dance about the carnival. And you know what he loses? His transformative jacket. Immediately.
Yep.
He shucks that shit so fast, he graduated. He doesn't have to be an athlete anymore. He tosses the only part of him that changed for the girl in the whole movie. It could have been an almost positive message about becoming the thing that is going to help you two get together. Mutual change for the benefit of each other could definitely have been an almost positive message in this movie. But instead, we say, fuck it. Fuck the change of the man. Dive deep into you being a whole other person than you are right now, because we're gonna fuck and it's gonna be great. And you know what? What morally bankrupt morals have we unveiled now? Oh, it's the same ones. It's just Hollywood sexism rails again.
I've had several things that I've wanted to say in response to most of this tangent, but you didn't give a damn breath in there, so we can just go on.
Fabulous. So we do our little dance, we sing our little song, we get in the Scorpion King's car, but with a new paint job, and it's the paint job from the weird dream sequence that the T-Birds had in the garage, because nothing is real and everything is made up. And Danny gets in the car, and Sandy gets in the car, while the whole fair is singing the song. Oh, also, Rizzo's not pregnant, but no one cares. And the car flies off into the clouds, and I cannot stress this enough. The movie asks you to suspend your disbelief on more than one occasion. And every time it asks you to, you simply can't, because the ask is too high. You can't suspend your disbelief that hard. And at the climactic moment in the movie, instead of a shot where the car drives off down the road and you helicopter away from the car and you pan up into the clouds and you get the clouds, you all the way fly the car. The normal car that drives on the ground into the sky to end the movie. And then we hit the yearbook credits. What the fuck is this movie?
It's been like 20 years.
Uh-huh.
And I still don't understand the ending to this movie.
I would love to find the guys who did the screenplay, not the guys who wrote the play, because those guys are clearly morally bankrupt. I've said that phrase a lot tonight, and I mean it. I want to know who did the screenplay and was like, at the end of the movie, what we're going to do is we're going to have them fly into the clouds. And then his writing team was like, aren't they in a car? And he went, they're going to fly into the clouds. And if they don't fly into the clouds, I'm going to rip your fucking balls off. And they went, all right, they're going to fly into the clouds. Jeez. As everyone gets nuts off the nose dust in the writer's room in Hollywood in 1976. The final shot is flying into the clouds in a car. At the end of the day, the movie gets from me a 3.5 out of 10. Go before I hit the final.
No, I just need to ask, what did you hate more? Because this is probably the longest you've ever gone, but I know there's a other top contender.
Mm-hmm.
Which one did you hate more, Grease or the Titanic?
Grease. I'd watch the Titanic again and suffer through the atrocity that is that movie. I will not watch this disgusting movie another time. I will die of old age not having watched this movie another time.
This is important information because I know we have a listener who will be very intrigued to know that.
Which one?
Our main listener to our podcast.
Oh my god, yes. I cannot wait. I'm gonna tell him. This movie is like if the premise for High School Musical was good and the execution was a coke binge of sexual violence and overall degeneracy. I cannot express how awful everything that happens in the movie is. Everyone's morals are thrown to the wayside. Everyone is toxically masculine. Everyone is monstrous to women. All the women are monstrous to men, which is, you know, if you're getting it, give it, I guess. Fuck. More than one time, women are touched when they do not want to be. On camera. Like, this was a pinnacle movie when it came out. This is a movie that is lauded as a classic of cinema and has been considered one of the best musicals of all time. And it is awful. Front to back, bad. Execution style level, it's fine. It's a movie. The camera guy knew how to do his job, except for in one scene. The sound wasn't terrible. The coloration was nice. It's fine to look at. Okay? It's fine to look at. The story isn't there. There isn't one. The plot is a shambles. The characters are not redeemable, except Frenchie, who is a good person at heart. This is atrocious. And I really did think I wouldn't have enough to say about it. I need a nap. I had 2 cups of coffee that fueled this insane rampage. Have I ranted harder against another movie?
I think the only time either of us went this long and at that much heated level about a movie was when we talked about the entire Twilight series at the end of a stream, which is never even going to be an episode.
Aired. No, it's never going to air.
Because that's how this whole podcast was created.
Yeah.
Was
a rampage against the end of the Twilight movie.
Not even the end, it was just the whole thing. We talked about the wolf CGI and the telepathy and imprinting. We did the whole fucking series.
The way nothing makes sense and everything is made up.
We did the whole fucking series in one night, and I think it was like 1 a.m. by the time like Yumi and Green Gorilla got done.
That might have been the last time we went this hard. Can you imagine if a movie was populated by Dolores Umbridge? Just every character is Dolores Umbridge, but also a sex fiend. Like, can you imagine that? Because we just watched it with our own eyes.
We gotta go. We
can go. Who do you know who likes this movie?
So many people.
They're all fucking wrong. I'm questioning everything about them. My friends are in danger. No, you know what? It's worse than Dolores Umbridge. What's that bitch's name from the fucking other Harry Potter, the Wizarding World movies?
Oh, shit. His girlfriend?
Yeah, what's her fucking name?
Tina?
Because Tina's always mean to Newt. Tina's so mean. Tina's so mean to everyone. She's so unnecessarily mean to everyone around her all the time. And you know what? It's like if all those movies only had Tina in them. That's what Grease is.